Hello, hello, hello! I am Katsusagi Usagi, and I am here with more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We are currently playing Justice for All, and we are at the circus. Or we have been at the circus, and now we have to do a trial. What happened? There we have a Maximilian Galactica who is accused of murdering the ringmaster. There's a small, I don't know how small she is, actually, but she definitely looks young, and she is being proposed to by the magician and a ventriloquist dummy. And there's a clown and a monkey. There's a lot happening. It really is just an absolute clown show. But let's get on with the trial. There he is. Good morning, Max. Max? Milk? What? If I don't have a glass of milk before I go on stage, I just can't function, sweetie. Stage? Don't worry, there won't be a stage. All you have to do is sit down. I guess. Nick, Max is really nervous. That's understandable. Hey, my sweeties. What? You don't think I should fly, do you? Uh-huh. You know, you've got to make a good first impression. When I enter the room, maybe I should fly in and warm up the crowd a little. No. We can't be having you flying around the courtroom. It just wouldn't be right. Imagine if you hit someone. Don't worry, Max. Just do what Nick says and everything will be okay. Oh, sweetie. What is it this time, Max? Why don't you try flying into the courtroom? I can see... Oh, the dashing young lawyer flying fabulously in from above. One glimpse of that and everyone in the room will be on your side. Max, really? No one needs to fly today. Nick, what's with that look in your eyes? I like the sound of that. Dashing young lawyer flying fabulously. And now the case of one... Woo! Your Honor, get on with it! Oh, sorry. I just realized that the defendant's name is Billy Bob Johns. So, well, isn't the defendant also known as Maximilian Galactica? Yes, Your Honor. He does often go by that name. You know, my grandchild is a huge fan of his. I think everyone here wouldn't mind if we call the defendant Maximilian Galactica. It sounds more friendly. I wonder if that is to our advantage. Miss Von Karma, your opening statement, if you please. I hope you didn't bother thinking you'd win this one, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Eh? The spirit channeling trial was a sham. I refuse to acknowledge its legitimacy. Well, that's dangerous. It did not count. Do you hear me? She must still be upset about what happened last time. You have no chance. Zero. Zilch nada. I'm not losing this case. Why, you ask? Because it is not in the nature of a Von Karma to lose at anything. I guess being born with the name Von Karma is a free pass to be arrogant and annoying. Watch and learn, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'll show you the textbook procedure for proving how absolutely guilty you are. Me? Guilty? What are you talking about? It will be my ultimate revenge. But it's not like it'll bring her dad back. There. Opening statement complete. Now let's hurry and wrap this waste of time. Very well. You may call your first witness, Miss Von Karma. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Get up there. Now. Sorry to keep you from work, as I'm sure you need every penny that you can, Detective. Don't mention it. It's no trouble at all. I've been looking forward to this. Very well. I would like you to begin by shedding light on the events in question. At your service, sir. All right, Detective. You may proceed with your testimony. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40 p.m., making it extremely cold out. All of the circus performers were gathered at the big top to practice their routines. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. Ooh. I see. He was beaten to death. Here is the autopsy report for the victim. The court accepts this into evidence. Time of death 10:50. Oh, it's been so long. I don't remember what anyone said to me. Okay. A blunt object. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. The night of the crime, snow was falling until 9:40, making it extremely cold out. Oh, well, there's a problem right there. Let me ask you about the snow. It was nearly a blizzard up until the time of the crime. Did it pile up? It wasn't such a big deal. Maybe about 1.5 inches was on the ground. The snow froze in place and stayed on the ground until the next day. The snow. Let me see. There's got to be more to this. Eh? What's the matter, Nick? I need to take a look at the court record. Mr. Gumshoe, what were the members of the circus doing on the night of the crime? All of the circus performers were gathered in the big top to practice their routines. When you say all of the circus performers, who do you mean? Everyone but the dancers and staff were there. Regina, the animal tamer, Mo the clown, Ben the ventriloquist, and of course, the defendant, Maximilian Galactica, and his victim, the ringmaster. Oh, I almost forgot. Regent the tiger was there as well. Out of curiosity, what about the circus monkey? When I was investigating yesterday, he happened to snatch my wristwatch. Detective, you are welcome to file a police report after these proceedings. The practice session broke up around 10 p.m. After the practice was over, where did everyone head off to? Regina was playing with Regent while Mo went back to his room tired from work. Ben, the ventriloquist, went to the front gate, absorbed in his own world. The ringmaster and Max went off to the ringmaster's room to talk privately. Talk privately, huh? That's awfully suspicious. You wouldn't happen to know what they were talking about, would you? It seems they were negotiating Max's salary. Actually, Max was asking for Regina's hand in marriage. The murder itself took place in the plaza in front of the lodging house at 10:15 p.m. I'd like you to be a bit more specific about the events at 10:15 p.m. Okay, not a problem, pal. We got a witness that told us how the whole thing went down. Ah! This is totally meaningless. Time to move on. Alright, we'll just have to revisit that testimony later. Detective Gumshoe, would you mind telling us how the victim met his end? The victim was found bent over a wooden box, dead as a doornail. A wooden box? That's right. The victim must have been carrying the wooden box when he was killed. Carrying the box, huh? It was a rather strange wooden box, Your Honor. What do you mean? Well, it was much heavier than it looked, not to mention it was locked. Locked, you say? This may be my only chance, so I might as well ask some questions. Do you mind telling us what was inside that box? Well, when we found the box, it was locked tighter than a Fort Knox. So we took it back to the station and cracked it open. All that was inside was this little bottle. Bottle? What is that, detective? Exactly what it looks like, Your Honor. It's a condiment bottle. What's inside the bottle? It's filled with pepper. Pepper? Why in the world was it locked in that big box? There was only one little bottle in that huge box? I wonder if that has some sort of special meaning. The cause of death was blunt force trauma that snapped a vertebrae in his neck. According to the autopsy report, the murder was a blunt object, correct? You've done your homework, pal. And you haven't found this murder weapon, have you? The police are searching for it as we speak. My theory is that it's something that the perpetrator ran off with. You would think so, especially since you didn't find it on the scene. No, I bet he made it disappear with magic.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Thank you, Siri.
Please repeat it.
Well, I think we have a good feel for the details of the event now. I guess that's all we're gonna get out of Gumshoe. In this case. You mean all we're gonna get out of him is that little bottle of pepper? Now that we have wrapped up with the detective, I'd like to call my next witness. I'm not even off the stand yet. Obviously, but that's due to you being slow and unable to take a hint. Oh, I don't know, but wrap up has such a mean sound to it. I'm a sensitive guy. Thank you very much, Detective Gumshoe. You may step down. Miss Von Karma, call your next witness. I would like to call Mr. Benjamin Woodman to the stand. She must be talking about Ben, the ventriloquist. I wonder if Trillia will show up on the stand as well. Please state your name and occupation for the record. My name is Trillia Quist. I'm employed as an operatic tenor. Excuse me? The witness called to the stand was one Mr. Benjamin Woodman, ventriloquist. The robe must be cutting off your circulation. I said that I was a singer. Maybe you don't believe me. Fine, I'll grace you with a song. Ahem. Me, 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 me. The world of the law, exciting and daring, guilt or innocence, decided by a judge dressed up like a woman. Well, what do you think? It had a good rhythm. It's just the lyrics. They leave something to be desired, so to speak. Trillia, you knew better than to insult a judge. Shut up. Just look at your nose. You would think you have the sense to fix it. It's so ugly. I want to punch you in the face. On the off chance swelling will help. You know what? Your nose is the reason you'll never be a A-list star. Celebrities must really enjoy seeing everything that flashes into their minds. What's going on here? Order! Order! I demand to know who this witness is. Don't worry about me, sir. I'll let Trillia handle this. I'm not worried about you one bit. I'm worried about getting testimony in my court. You won't be getting anywhere trying to figure out this witness. Now let's proceed. Once practice was over, I left the tent with this clown. Once we got to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back into the plaza's entrance. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. He was the only one heading that way. How could that punk not be the killer? Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. You saw Maximilian Galactica heading towards the scene? You're sure of that? Without a doubt. He had his silk hat, cloak, and his dumb white roses on his chest. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up high in the air? That's enough. I think we all get the picture. Just one thing. You said you ditched the clown. That's right, Dress Boy. Well, since you weren't with him, couldn't that mean that the clown committed the crime? He's got a point. What a shame. It was a nice theory, but the clown can't be the culprit. Why is that? Here's absolute proof. Oh, a silk hat. This was found at the scene of the crime. It belongs to the defendant. Without question, he was wearing his signature hat during practice. If the clown was the murderer, there would be no reason for his hat to be at the scene. Well done, Miss Von Karma. Your prosecutorial skills are unrivaled. Well done. Thank you for stating the obvious. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what do you have to say? Okay. I guess she's the boss again today. Once practice was over, I left the tent with the stooge. I mean clown. The clown. You're talking about Mo? Of course I'm talking about that old fart. He's so pathetic I can't stand it. Just a little bit of exercise and his makeup is running all over the place. Once practice was over, he was 9/10 of the way to keeling over for good. Poor guy. We didn't have any choice, so Ben took him back to his room. When it comes to being a first place loser, that guy's ahead of the pack. Then what happened? Once we get to the lodging house, I ditched him and went back to the plaza's entrance. Why the plaza's entrance? To do some thinking, of course. It was awfully cold out that night, especially with all the snow around. Wouldn't thinking in your nice warm lodging have been a better idea? Mr. Phoenix Wright, I think you should leave the thinking to the witness. But I'm a good thunker. At least my teachers always said I was. That's when I saw Max heading towards the scene of the crime. Are you sure it was really Max Galactica? Of course I'm sure. How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby three-piece getup? Snobby three-piece getup? Get the wax out of your ears, lawyers nowadays. You're all like talking to a brick wall. Max's three-piece getup. Jeez, could you be any more dense? All together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you. Nick, I think you should put a little bit more effort into preparing your questions. He was the only one headed that way. How could that punk not be the killer? You saw Max and only Max, right, Trilio? That's right, and that makes him the killer. There's only one person headed that way that night. That makes quite a bit of sense. It makes Max one suspicious character. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Is there something that I've missed? Is there something amiss in this? There's really no proof that it was Max. Well, no, because didn't Max and the Ringmaster go together? That's a bit strange, don't you think? What's strange? That you only saw Max. Doesn't it seem like you should have seen someone else as well? Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Who else do you suppose the witness should have seen? That's the victim? That's correct. If Trillia was at the entrance to the plaza, you should have seen the Ringmaster as well. Obviously the Ringmaster arrived at the scene of the crime before the witness. Could have seen him. Anyone with sense could have figured that one out. What are you talking about? The Ringmaster and Max went together to the Ringmaster's room. Is that, according to the defendant, a likely story? If Maximilian Galactica was supposed to be in the Ringmaster's room, why was he just, as the witness stated, at the scene of the crime? I see. It seems that at this stage I have no reason to doubt the witness's testimony. And there are clearly no conclusive contradictions. He's right. A brilliant judgment, Your Honor. Now let's get moving along with this testimony. Trilio wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Well, Max is part of that bitter lover triangle with Regina, which is probably why Max conked him over the head. Nick, wasn't Ben the one who got conked over the head? Yeah, I think so. I don't know anymore. Once practice was over, I left the tent with this clown. Then the police showed up and took Magic Boy away. Around what time did the police arrive at the scene? I suppose that would have been around... Hey, what time was it? I think it was, I'd say, a bit after 10:30 p.m., I think. Practice ended at 10, so you hung around the lodging house the entire time. I guess that sounds about right. Wasn't it awfully cold? I can't believe you'd just stand outside like that in this weather. Well, the truth is... Will you shut up, you big-nosed dope? Why are you telling him anything extra? Why can't you just believe that we'd just stand outside in the weather? Well, maybe you were waiting for someone. What? Who said we were waiting for someone? Mr. Phoenix Wright, we can all do without your offhanded theories. But the witness, he's cracking under the pressure already. I'm onto something. Mr. Wright, why do you suppose the witness was waiting out, who do you suppose the witness was waiting for out in the cold that night? I bet they were gonna do the same thing. That they were gonna ask if they could marry Regina. Don't hold your tongue, Ben. It's your job to answer all these stupid questions. I'm sorry, Trilio. I've gotta find a way to get more information out of this witness. Oh, really? Think about it some more, Nick. I'm sure you'll come up with something. Trilio wouldn't happen to have an ulterior motive for incriminating Max, would he? Huh. It's definitely this one. Oh, I bumped my mic. So if it wasn't... They weren't gonna actually ask. Oh, maybe he... I can't remember when Regina got proposed to, but maybe it's her instead. Let me see. Are bothering me super badly. Let's see. Profiles. Let's try her. Well, if he was waiting outside in the cold, it was for one person. And one person only. He was waiting for the animal tamer, Regina. What? You were waiting outside for Regina to come back into the lodging house. Am I mistaken? Is this true? Well, you really can't ask me that question. Who cares who I was waiting for that night? What's important is what I saw. Don't you forget it. Well, the puppet may be a bit stiff, but he's right. Eh? Alright. There's obviously a reason why the witness was there that night. He spent all that time waiting for Regina to arrive. Moreover, even if someone else would have walked right in front of him, I doubt he would have paid them a second thought. That makes perfect sense. What did you just say? The witness saw the defendant at the scene of the crime. However, he did not see the victim on the way to his eventual demise. If you accept that, then you must accept that there is a high likelihood that he could have missed someone else other than Max heading to the scene. Ah! There is absolutely no proof that the witness was waiting for the animal tamer. I guess you got me. Alright. I'll spill the beans for real this time. It's true. I was waiting for Regina. Bane? Don't volunteer things. Mr. Quist, tell us the truth this time, and I mean the whole truth. Were you or were you not waiting for Regina at the entrance to the lodging house? I was. I was waiting to propose to her. You were what? Waiting to propose? What's the matter? You think that humans have a monopoly on marriage? The matter of puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. More pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Don't be surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give to her. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. You were going to propose. You a puppet. Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I couldn't propose to her too. Exactly. His honor is looking a little less than honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright. Please continue with your cross-examination. What was with that sigh at the end? Don't be so surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina? Of course that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we became some sort of new outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it. That's the truth. I even had something to give to her. What was it exactly that you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was gonna give her, numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty. Answer his question. What was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. Engagement ring. Wow. Those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone on too far. Time for this to end right here. Francesca's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Pain equals bad. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a human. Ah! I advise you to cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring. I'd like to stick to facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. I planned on giving an engagement ring to Regina. An engagement ring? It's actually diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina is going to love it. It's just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's got to be something I can catch him on. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You've got to be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off? I'm sorry, really. You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing. Really? Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. So you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count, but that uppity snob kept getting in the way. Uppity snob? You couldn't possibly be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna saw his woodblock in half, and not with magic. Well, they always say that love creates rivalries. So what about this present? In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. So you were still thinking of trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am. I spent 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not gonna give up that easily. I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's about time to unwrap this toy's testimony. That's the spirit, Nick. Give him heck. The judge has that dazed and confused look again. Maybe he should get out more. To my pocket. I believe I have the ring in my own pocket, actually. From Trilio to Regina. Trilio, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Oh, that's mine! Give it back! Thief! Thief! Didn't Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? Ah! What's going on here? That's... Ben, say something! Don't put me on the spot like that, Trilio. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean a room where they put the money? Like a bank vault? Ha! That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word. Oh, I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things he can, find, and gather them up. Shiny things. Trilio, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night? The night of the crime. What did you just say? Details. I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Ah! Ben, what is with you? Oh, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything. Especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trilio, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing, not I, Mr. Trilio Quest. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trilio? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring-snatching monkey Money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all that slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? I'm trying, Frame. I'm trying. There is a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction. The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance up to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that the witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well then tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim. The ringmaster arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't just lie to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about that. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly what you saw on that night. I've told you so many times. You'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, Stick Boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. There is one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. I'll give you that I was waiting for that night for Regina, but that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max? That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring, and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see. I'd say about, I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. I'll give you that I was waiting that night for Regina. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed in one area, I suppose. Yikes. The judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trillia. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night. Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out for yourself. You already know that the practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. And what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Let me... Ow, I'm no good at... It was 10:10 p.m. Oh yes, that sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. I have missed something. I get thrown off because all his text is constantly in green instead of just the testimony part. And I think that's a mistake. It's not usually like that. Did I already... So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. Yeah, you say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trilio. You say good evening at night. No, I'm sorry, Trilio. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside the courtroom. Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's got to be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial with one of your co-workers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a co-worker, I would understand. Ow! That hurt. Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trillia would say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica on the scene. You are 100% absolutely sure of what you just said. I told you already. Jeez, I'm 100% absolutely sure. There's no way that he could have been any more confident than that, right? There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now. Silk hat, cloak, white roses. Thank you very much. Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you? But it's fun shouting it with everyone else. There has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I agree, but do we have the proof to make something stick? All we can do is try, right, Nick? We've got to have something that will prove useful. Alright, time to go to work. I think it's this. Didn't Max just hit... It's been like... Not quite a week, but it's been some days since we did this. If I remember correctly, Max did hit this little man with a bottle. So yeah, if someone smacked me upside the head with a bottle, I also probably wouldn't say goodnight to them. Trilio, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big a deal, it's just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting conked over the head. Ugh! That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ow. Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charges first. The truth is, on that day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. There is no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival.
Objection!
Are you saying this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him in the crime scene? I didn't tell a single lie, honestly, I just... That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain the theory about who the witness actually saw that night? He saw a different person. It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all, which means there is only one proper answer. One person the witness saw that night that was not Maximilian Galactica. That is why Trilio made the effort to greet whoever it was he saw coming that evening. Our good evening, as he put it. What in the world? Well, the defense can only explain who it was Trilio saw that evening. I wonder... If I remember Max's comments correctly, that the ringmaster left the room because he had to go do something. And Max was still in his office. And you have to believe what Max was saying is true. And then Trilio... I would guess Trilio would have seen the ringmaster. But the ringmaster be wearing Max's stuff? That comes across a little odd to me. But I don't think it's impossible. Cloak, white roses, hat. The ringmaster is the only answer. I wonder if Trilio is lying about the three special things. But it has to be this. Considering the ill temper of the witness, there is only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor, it's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilio would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you've got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trilio. Isn't that correct? Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Order, order. How do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I think it was high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols. Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man, you've got to remember them by now. Here we go again, everyone. All together now. Ah! Yes, we know. The silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What? Miss Von Karma, you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant. Well, if that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point on this one. That is very unfortunate. You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but who that person was can only be answered by this next witness. Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond a shadow of a doubt, an answer to the question and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. Oh. I wonder if this is all gonna get wrapped up in one. No, it probably won't. The other one was super long. Sweetie, you have to believe me, I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene. So then where were you when the murder took place? We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left that room, right? Exactly! He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back. That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right? That's what it seems like. But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right? Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room, still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off. Which means... It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous! It's a fabulously possible possibility. Well done, Nick. However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double, Wow, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something. Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up, magician or president. You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision. That's really cool. Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case. Very well. I will now call upon my next witness, a pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Curls please take the stand? Why did she just call him a pitiful clown? The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. Name and occupation. Will the witness please inform the court why he is speaking autobiographical gibberish? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited for this sort of occasion. What in the world are you talking about? You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court. Oh yeah, maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear pants? The sign only says no shirt, no shoes, no service. Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist, Dr. Seymour Butt? How was that one? But a couple of clowns who were up to no good. Your name? Lawrence Curls, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown. You witnessed the scene at around 10:15 p.m. the day of the murder, correct? Yes, it is. Very well, Mr. Curls. Will you please testify to what you saw that evening? A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafarian walked into this plaza. Without the humor, please. Okay. Ah, poor Mo can't be his normal stoogy self in court. I know. I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. You haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and polite applause. Since no one laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I've been trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today. But this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try and make everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone, what do you think of me? How am I doing? Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here? Witness! Huh? We will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, please stick to the facts of this case. Really? You'll hear me out? Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later. Thank you, I cannot wait. Poor Gumshoe. Now that that's settled, shall we begin once again with this testimony? Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want. That night, the night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching him, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. That's very interesting. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now. Of course you can. There is no way that this account can be criticized. However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him. That must be because of my insincere smile. Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, you've got to find some kind of contradiction in his testimony. I know that. Mr. Wright! Your Honor? I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you are not going to engage in pointless saber-rattling. I understand, Your Honor. If you cause this clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible. Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with corny jokes. So we have to be careful or we'll get penalized. So we can't press everything like we usually do. I was warned about this. That night after the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. Yeah, those are things we need to avoid. I thought I'd go straight to sleep. Before I did, I glanced out the window. This is probably important. You just happened to glance out of the window. You could say that. You could say I also say I peeked, stared, glimpsed, peeped, eyeballed. Mr. Curls? Oh, I guess synopsises aren't allowed either. Or synonyms. What should I do? I wonder if I should press him further on this issue. Exactly why did you look out your window that night? Why? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out their windows, do they? That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday, once I tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You forgot. Your Honor, the witness looked out his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not just simply glance out of his window that night. Oh yeah, that's right! I forgot to mention that thwomp, didn't I? That's not just something you forget to mention. Yeah. What she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony. Very well, Mr. Curls, please revise your testimony. This should start turning the tables in our favor. I heard a huge noise outside that window, and that's what made me look outside. What was that sound like? Well, I guess it kind of sounded like, I guess you could say, Mr. Curls, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary. Oh, glad you know I was gonna make a joke. I guess that sound sounded like it. I suppose it sounded like someone getting hit with something very hard. Yeah, that's what it sounded like, honestly. Someone getting hit, huh? What then? You went to look out the window and you saw... That's when I saw the two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. Far away, you say? If you had to say exactly how far away were they? Let me think about that for a second. If my room is here, and they looked about yay big, I'd say they're about 30 feet from my window. Just 30 feet? That's not far at all. It was snowing that night, and it cut down on visibility. I see. Please continue with your testimony regarding the two shadows that you saw. I don't know when we're going to get to it, but it wasn't snowing at the time of the murder. It's just something that we keep, like, glossing over. We glossed over it with, like, gumshoe. And now we're glossing it over here. It was not snowing. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. You'd say you clearly saw this, even though you were, by your own admission, far away? That's right. I had been thinking about it over and over since that night. But things didn't really make sense until I spoke with the prosecutor, Miss Von Karma. But now I'm 100% certain that it was Max and the ringmaster that I saw that night. Just think about it. How could I be wrong if Max is always wearing his uppity symbols? Uppity symbols. Lawyers nowadays, do you even have to go to school anymore to be one? Alright, everyone knows what to do. All together now. Say it with Uncle Mo. See what I mean? It's always like this. The crowd never wants to go along with me. It must really be utterly and completely worthless as a clown. Enough foolishness. Get back on track. Will the witness please testify as to what he saw, and only what he saw? I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max conked the ringmaster over the head. You say you saw the ringmaster get clonked over the head. Yes, I did. It's the climax of my story. He really does enjoy the completely random non sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with? You mean the weapon? I have no idea. A weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right? That's not what I meant. You did say you saw everything, didn't you? Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no, I didn't. I didn't see a weapon. Mo, did you or did you not see the crime of murder committed that night?
Objection!
I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You'd better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor clown. Because if you don't, you know what is waiting for you. A nice penalty. Holy crap! Isn't that a bit melodramatic? So what will it be then, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have any clear bias to believing that my witness did not see the crime? Yes. Well, he said he heard the thump. He did. I've got a great reason to make my claim. And I suppose you will be telling us all that great reason? Of course I will. The reason is the witness's very own testimony. What is the meaning of that, Mr. Wright? Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of someone getting hit. He did say that. However, Mo just stated the following under oath. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clunked the ringmaster over the head. If Mo is to believe, then he says he looked out a window upon hearing a sound. There is no way that he could have seen Max clonk anyway. Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment? They didn't commit. These clowns properly escaped from a maximum security clown car. Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court? No. I'm just stalling for time while I jog my memory. Great job, Nick. These types of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. You just have to peel back the layers of the clown makeup to find the truth. Well, you're back from your jog? Well, it pretty much happened the way I said. Pretty much. When I looked out my window that night, the ringmaster was already face down in the snow. The prosecution helped me fill in the gaps of my statement. Fun karma. Tampering with the witnesses again. So now you are saying that you did not see the defendant clonk the ringmaster. Yes. When I looked out my window, the ringmaster had already checked out. Checked out? Yup, he was on permanent vacation, as they say. Mr. Curls. Your Honor, you did not witness the actual crime. However, you still say you saw the criminal, correct? Yes, exactly. The ringmaster was slumped over and I saw someone's silhouette next to him. Very well, then please testify to the silhouette you saw. I expect the truth. And if I can even catch a hint of a joke from you, I will put you in a holding cell until you learn court etiquette. Got it? Got it. It was a bit far away, but that shadow could have only belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. His silk hat, the black cloak, they were all there. His face was silhouetted, but there was no doubt that it was him. His cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying. It does seem as if the defendant was at the scene of the crime. It took the clown long enough to get his facts straight. But whatever, this should finally be good enough, yes? It is decisive testimony. Was Max really at the crime scene that night? He said he wasn't there. We have to believe in that. All right, Mr. Wright, commence your cross-examination. I was a bit far away, but the shadow could have only belonged to Max. Is it safe to press him all the time now? I don't know. We'll find out. Don't you think that you were going a little overboard with how explicit you're being? That shadow belonged to Max is an awfully firm statement, don't you think? What are you getting at? I'm just saying that one of your fellow performer's life is on the line here. Are you truly 100% absolutely certain that it was Max? I'm not the kind of person who would lie about something as serious as this. The silhouette I saw was Max. I'm convinced of that. Doesn't seem like he was jumping to any conclusions this time. Let's go over this again then. What makes you so sure that you saw Max that night? There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. Trilio said the same thing. But if it was just the symbols, then even I could have been wearing them. What if someone had just taken Max's symbols and worn them? I thought of that myself. But just looking at the shape of the face I saw, it must have been Max. Sprightly, that's so mean. You're sure of that? Such a silly little boy. He threw his entire case headlong into a trap. His silk hat, that black cloak, they were all there. His face was silhouetted, but there was no... Oh. You're sure that is what you saw that night? Exactly what I said I saw is exactly what I saw. I've got eyes like a hawk. Don't birds have terrible night vision? But that's not all I saw. His face was silhouetted, but there was no doubt that it was him. You were able to see that kind of detail from your window. There was a light near the scene of the crime. Anyone with decent eyesight should be able to see that much. Out of curiosity, Mo, what is your eyesight like? I can see like a hawk out of my left eye, and an eagle out of my right eye. Our records say his eyesight is a perfect 20/20. That must mean he could have seen the crime scene clearly. The more we look into this matter, the more suspicious it becomes. Hey, you asked me what my eyesight was like, not what it actually was. His cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying. So you didn't actually see what the criminal was holding. That's correct. I've been curious to know what caused that loud noise. It must have been something incredibly hard. Too bad they haven't found the murder weapon to know for sure. They claim it was a blunt object. At least it says so in the autopsy report. With Trilio's testimony and now Mo's, it really seems like Max is the killer. Oh no, Sprightly! Eventually it'll all, like, turn itself back to the way it needs to be. It'll feel bad, though. Nick, you have got to find a contradiction in this. That's not going to be enough. What? I have to prove that Mo saw someone other than Max that night. That's the only thing that will help. I've got to do it. Okay, so now I have to point some evidence in the directions. Did I have a good Monday? Yeah, it wasn't so bad. I sort of just vibed. Yeah, when I first started, I didn't have any days off. And it was very exhausting. And the last thing I wanted to do was, like, burn myself out so soon. I used to do 2 3-hour streams and stream all 7 days a week, but having a day off and cutting down the one was like, I don't feel so burned out. It's good. It's good. This feels like a bit of a stretch. But they're only talking about his silk hat and cloak and not his roses. And it feels like a stretch, but I don't know what else I can present. You say you saw all of Max's uppity symbols. I suppose so. The silk hat and the cloak, right? Mo, everyone knows that the Maximilian Galactic has 3 uppity symbols. 3 symbols? Yay! Everyone get ready! All together now! Silk hat, cloak, white roses. What? Who cares if he knew that there were 3 or not? He saw what he saw, and he saw the symbols. He just forgot to mention one. Isn't that right, Mo? Do you like pie? I love pie! Silence, fool. You are to respond with the whole truth, no fractions. Order, order. Mo, you didn't see the roses, did you? To be honest, there weren't any roses on the person I saw. The crime scene was dark. It was obviously too dark to see that kind of detail. But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face. Not to mention that the roses are white. There's no way he could have missed them. Then the roses must have fallen off when the defendant assaulted the victim. If that was the case, then the police would have found them near the crime scene. Mr. Wright, are these white roses truly material to the facts of this case? Certainly not. He's just toying with this court. I've got her on the ropes now. These seemingly insignificant facts have never failed to lead me to the truth yet. Someone is toying with this court, but it's not me. Your Honor, do you recall Trilio's testimony? There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up high in the air? How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby 3-piece getup? Trilio saw them all. Trilio saw all 3 of Max's symbols. However, this witness claims there were no white roses on the person he saw. There is absolutely no doubt that this is a contradiction. Now what am I supposed to think? One is supposed to disregard the pointless, but this... Judge, forget the roses. Think about this other testimony. The witness has stated without a doubt that he saw Maximilian Galactica. Nothing else matters. Let's wrap up this case now. I know. There's no middle road. Your Honor, it may be trivial, but it does not cast doubt on the prosecution's case. Frankly, I have my doubts about the witness. It seems that, unlike wine, the witness does not grow more mature with age. I'm not mature. I've come to a conclusion. I'm 99% certain that this witness saw the defendant. However, my remaining 1% of doubt is quite reasonable. Which means that for my peace of mind, I'm going to request a bit more testimony. What? If there's no contradictions in his next statement, I am prepared to issue a ruling. A ruling? Nick! This is your last chance. There's no doubt in my mind. There were no white roses that night. However, all of the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. Especially the silk hat. There is no way I could forget seeing the decorations on it. He was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene. Oh, that's not true. Mr. Wright, you've got one last chance at this. Just one chance? I will not allow even the slightest hint of badgering against the witnesses. If you're going to prove to me there's a contradiction with Mr. Curls' statement, you'd better have at least a shred of evidence to back up your accusations. I've only got a single shot at this. I've got to be careful. I understand, Your Honor. One chance is all I will need. The hat fell off. I'm not even going to bother pressing, because I don't believe that I won't get slapped upside the head the moment I try to. The hat fell off. They found it at the crime scene. This wouldn't happen to be the silk hat you saw that night, would it? Yep, that's it. That's the hat he was wearing that night. No question in your mind. Exactly how would one mistake a thing like that? I see. Is there some sort of problem, Mr. Wright? Miss Von Karma, where exactly was this silk hat found? Must you always ask these questions? It was found at the crime scene. The crime scene? That means... The silk hat fell off at the crime scene. However, the witness clearly testified to the contrary. The witness stated that he was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene. No, that's not true! Order, order, order. Mr. Curls! Yes, Your Honor. What is the meaning of all this? You are old enough to know better than to behave like this in court. Hey, that's just not right. That's so harsh. What's not right here is your eyesight and your memory, amongst other things. Why are you being so mean to me? What did I do? Let me guess. You just don't like my jokes or something, right? You don't have to go and insult my eyesight or my memory. They're both great. Seriously, why? Just because you're sitting above me doesn't mean anything, and no matter how old I get, I will always be younger than you. Enough of these childish outbursts, Mr. Curls. Who do you think you are? I saw him. I swear I saw him. I was Max. Even if he didn't have his roses, he was still wearing his dumb silk hat. I'm telling him the truth. He's turned into a bratty little kid. It's pitiful, isn't it? He left the scene wearing that dumb silk hat. He was there. He left the scene? What's the matter, Nick? There's something I've been mulling over for a while now. Mo? What do you want? You just said that he left the scene. Exactly how did the murderer leave the scene of the crime? What? He went... What do you mean, how did he leave the scene? You can't just ask me that.
Objection!
Mr. Phoenix Wright is badgering the witness, Your Honor. The witness's testimony is full of holes. Miss Von Karma's protest is useless. Gah. You've got a point. Let's hear what the witness has to say on this matter. Is that alright with you, little guy? Don't talk to me like I'm a little baby. Besides, what kind of stupid question is how did he leave the crime scene? The answer's obvious. He just turned around and walked away. That's what I expected you to say. You sure that's how it happened? Say what? Oh, I'm not sure I know exactly where you're going with this. Lawyers nowadays sure do love to harp on the smallest things. Do you have any proof to counter this story as to how the criminal left the scene? Yes. Let me double check it, though. Yeah, there's only the one set of footprints, right?
Take that!
Look at this picture. The problem is the footprints in the snow. Footprints? In the photo, we can clearly see footprints of the victim. However, where are the criminal's footprints? They aren't there. So, Mo, exactly how did the criminal escape the scene? Oh, yeah. Your Honor! This witness has already proven that his testimony is completely unreliable. I move to strike the witness's testimony from the court record. I agree. This clown's testimony is as rickety as the clown car he came to court in. Wait just a second. You guys can't just ignore everything I've said. Fine, I'll tell you the truth this time. You wait a second. I think you've said more than enough for today. That didn't hurt. I'm sick and tired of listening to you anyways. I'll give you the real deal this time, I swear. I don't know why, but I get the feeling things are gonna get worse before they get better. Mr. Lawrence Curls. Yes. The testimony you've provided up until now has been false? It hasn't been false. I haven't lied. It's just what? It's just I was a bit confused on the bit about the criminal leaving the scene. Especially since Von Karma and her whip told me not to talk about what I really saw. Order. I will have order. Francisca Von Karma, how could you? That's a bitch that don't give a fuck. Your Honor. If you had heard the truth from this witness, you would have exactly the same opinion as I have. What opinion is that? It's not funny. That's enough out of you. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. Now then, Let's hear the truth about what you saw, Mr. Curls. Huh, you're not gonna believe this, but it's all true, I tell you. Try not to waste our time with your idiotic drivel. The truth. Now it's time for our next segment, Mo Knows. Everything that I've said up till now has been the truth. When I looked out the window, the ringmaster was down and Max was standing above him. He wasn't wearing his white roses, but he was wearing the silk hat. That's when I saw him. There he goes. This is the truth now. Get ready for it. He flew. He jumped up and flew through the air. He flew right off and disappeared into the darkness. That's why there were no footprints. Flying people don't leave footprints. I told you it wasn't funny. Do you believe me now? Well, that was, how do you put this into words? Maximilian Galactica is a world-class magician, but to leave the scene of a crime by flying, there's no way that actually happened. You're right. Why is she right? You believe the other witnesses. Why won't you believe me? Especially since it's the best part of the story. To be honest, this is the first time I've heard of a flying criminal. What do you think about this witness's testimony, Mr. Wright? Fuck. I don't know. It is actually the only thing that makes sense. Because there's no footprints. I'm usually pretty good at figuring out how these things happened. And I just simply cannot. Like, I don't even... Because of the way the victim has fallen over, it makes me think that something was dropped on his head, which would explain no footprints. But then there's like... But there's no, like... The weapon still hasn't been found, so it's not like a flower pot got dropped in his head and the man keeled over. I think his eyes are playing tricks. It's obvious that the witness's eyes are playing tricks on him. Don't be such a fool! Who in the world do you think I would mistake that jerk for? Jeez, I didn't say you were lying. Wow, he looks really serious right now. More serious than he's looked all day. I suppose I will let you all in on my thinking regarding this matter. The criminal disappeared into the sky. I'd love to believe that, but I just can't wrap my head around how that could actually happen. You... Oop.
Yakbutt, Disco didn't tell me you were still...
Thank you very much, Yak. You imbecile. If you disregard a need for proof, Miss Von Garma's case is set. However, I've got the feeling that this case is in dire need of more investigation. Thus, I will conclude today's proceedings at this point. It's an undisputed fact that the criminal left no footprints at the scene. Tomorrow, I want us to find out the reason behind this mystery of mysteries. It's okay, you only missed all the court bits, which I know is your favorite. I know how much you love when things happen in court. I believe that's enough for today. Court is adjourned. Hey, sweeties, what in the world is going on? That's what I want to know. They say the criminal flew off into the air and disappeared. Max, I can't believe I'm asking this, but you didn't fly that night, did you? I know you didn't mean to ask me such a fabulously stupid question. I can't fly whenever I please. It's not that easy. But it looks so effortless for you on stage. It's not that simple. I'm not actually flying on stage. I use invisible wires and have them hoist me through the air. Wow. You just told me the secret to your magic. No! I broke the first rule. The cardinal rule. The only rule. I'm sorry, Max. We made you break a magician's creed to never reveal the secret to their tricks. Nick, what do we do now? All we can do now is hope we find the flying criminal in court tomorrow. Great idea. Let's do our best and catch this sucker. Well, moving right along. Nick? What is it? I've got a confession to make. I'm terrible at figuring out magic tricks. Magic tricks? Yeah, magic tricks are by their very definition tricks. Right? But I can never figure out the tricks when I see them. That's because the tricks are performed by pros. They do it so you can't guess the trick. But the trick Pearly showed me was incredible. Pearls did a magic trick? What kind of trick was it? Let's see. It looked like she pulled the end of her own thumb off. First, she put her right thumb next to her left hand, and then it just separated. She could move it up and down and everything. It was incredible. Really? Was it kind of like this? Oh, how'd you do that? Nick, you're just like a real magician. See, this is why I just can't figure out magic. I'm no good at it. Especially hard tricks like flying away from the scene of a murder. You'll take all the fun out of magic if you keep trying to figure it out. I don't see any way out of this. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's no way we can solve the mystery of the criminal flying by tomorrow. I was thinking, do you really think the criminal flew through the air? The only one who thinks that is Mo, right? He says he saw it. That's true. Mo looked awfully serious when he said that. Do you think he might be trying to frame Max? If that was it, he would have simply said, I saw Max. That would have been enough. There's no reason why anyone would believe he flew. But what if the criminal really did fly? There's only one person who could do that, Max. You're really not helping my confidence here, Maya. Everyone seems to hate Max, Ben, Trilio, Mo. They all have nothing nice to say. That magician does seem rather full of himself, doesn't he? Especially when he says things like customers only go to the circus to see him. He even hit Ben over the head with a bottle. But what? But that doesn't seem enough to frame another person for murder. And it was proven that neither Ben nor Mo lied on the stand. Maybe Ben saw the ringmaster wearing Max's costume. But Mo clearly said that he saw Max himself. It's a mystery. Yeah, Maya's music is very cute. Oh, my sweeties. You mind hurrying up and getting me out of this place? We're doing our best, Max. Just hang in there. A little while ago, some people from a local TV station came by, and since I'm a famed magician, they said, let's make your very own TV special. Really? What kind of TV special? Maximilian Galactica, The Great Prison Escape. It would be aired live. Hey, that sounds like it would be an awesome special. But if I do the special before I'm acquitted, they'll never let me out of here for real. Hello, Zach? Well, it would surely be an unnecessary addition to your troubles with the law. That's what I was thinking, but the production staff is already working on the show. If you don't get me out quick, I'll have no choice but to stage a real prison break. You seem awfully calm about that possibility. I'd have no choice. It would be a contractual obligation. That's show business. What did you get today, Zach? The night of the crime. You didn't happen to fly off into the sky, did you? Here's how everything went down, sweetie. At the time of the murder, I was sitting in the ringmaster's room. Not to mention, flying off into the sky is just not something I can do at will. I don't care what the stoogey clown says, it wasn't me. Max, do you mind teaching me the trick behind flying? You'll have to forgive me, sweetie. The difference between me and cheap imitation magicians is that I keep my mouth shut. Oh, congratulations! I don't teach people tricks, but I will say this much. It's much harder than you think. I was thinking about this in court today. I've got a favor to ask of you. Anything for you, sweetie? Be friends with the other performers in the circus. Fabulous! A great joke! Why would I be friends with a bunch of hacks like them? But I've won on the world stage. I won on the International Grand Prix. International Grand Prix? Performers should always look to perform on the world stage, but the performers of the circus are completely and utterly devoid of ambition. That is something that I can simply not tolerate. Ambition, huh? Something about what Max said just rings true to my ears. Grand Prix. Oh, my sweeties. My sweeties want to hear all about the Grand Prix, don't they? To be honest, though, I've told this story like 100 times already, so it's a bit boring. We're sorry to make you tell it again. You must not have heard me. I'm really sick of telling this story. But what can you do? I'm Maximilian Galactica. I suppose I can tell it again. Voila! Here, take a look at this. I just happen to have a picture from the Grand Prix with me. Just look at this fabulous stage! This is the first stage that I ever flew on. I flew right over the audience. The crowd erupted into applause, and at that time, I thought to myself that I could die right then and there and die a happy man. I'll never forget how I felt that night. The emotions, the acclaim. Wow! By the way, I think everyone who is a performer should get to experience that feeling. I just wish I could explain that to the other people in the circus. That's incredible, Max. I want a trophy too! Hey Nick, how about you buy me a trophy? That's not how you earn a trophy, Maya. My sweeties, you can have this picture of my triumph. Just make sure you show it to all the other members of the circus. Look and learn! That's what you should tell them. Learn how to get thrown in jail? Are we done with you? But yes, congrats on the COVID shot. I have also had my first one. I need to wait. I'll probably get mine on my second one, because now you have to wait so many weeks to get the second one. So I'm gonna get my second one, I think, on Sunday, so that if it does make me very sick, I have Monday off to be sick. That was Q's idea. And she was right. Well, sometimes. You hear that? It sounds like two people arguing. Alright, let's do it. Are you ready? Yes. Oh, wait. Quit your whining. Let's just give this a shot already. Alright, let's go. Row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat. What are you doing? Gently down the stream. Come on, you know that. I'm trying my best, but Trilio, this just isn't gonna work. Do you enjoy saying dumb things? You're gonna have to be on your own someday. If you can't handle something as simple as this, what are you gonna do then? Hello, Ben. Hello to you too, Trilio. What are you doing here? Can't you see we're on a secret crash training course? I'm sorry? Secret crash training... Whoa. Yes, Trilio wouldn't give up until I said we'd try out his idea for a new routine. So we're trying to sing in a round for our new ventriloquism act. In a round? Can you really do that? That's incredible! See, even they are surprised by the idea. I told you. You're not the only ones. You even surprised me with your idea. Once you've got a grip on the basics, then it's just a matter of practice. You think so? Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to give this back to you. Ah, there it is. Now that I've got this ring, it's time to take one more shot at Regina. I know that you already testified in court today. You want to talk about what we saw, right? Yes. Well, at first we thought it was the old man. Just looking at his walk and how he acted. Right, Ben? Oh yeah, that's right. But then we said hello and didn't even get a reply. Not to mention he was draped in those gaudy symbols. What would you have thought if he wasn't wearing those symbols? What do you think, Ben? What? I would have thought it was the ringmaster. Something just isn't adding up here. I wonder who they really saw. I was hoping I could ask you about Regina. I'm completely serious about her. That's why I'm waiting for her, even now. Really? That's so sweet. But if you really wanted to see Regina, shouldn't you check out the tent? Ha! You haven't got a clue about things, do you, sweetheart? Eh? Waiting like this is part of being in love. How so? If you had a clue, you would know that waiting is such a sweet, wonderful torture. When your body aches for your partner's love, that's one of the best parts. Yeah, I knew that. Poor Maya. She's so red she looks like a vine-ripe tomato. So how is this new routine working out? Will you two just take a chill pill already? Our routines are secret. We're gonna take ventriloquism by the world by storm. It'll be a real revolution. That sounds incredible. But let me make one thing clear. We're not going to take on the world just because that jerk said we should. That jerk? Max Galactica. Performers should aim for the world. Who does he think he is? Trilio, you seem to really be fired up about all this. He needs to realize that he isn't the only one that can conquer the world stage. You're right. You're right. Mark my words, Trilio Quisp will win the Grand Prix. You're the man now, doll. Row, row, row your boat will be the key to a glorious victory. Not to rain on your parade, but wouldn't a more mature song be best? Hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? Don't screw this up. You've gotta be a part of this too. Do I show them? Max told me to show that picture to everybody. I don't actually know if I should do that, but I'm gonna. Would you mind taking a look at this? I guess we don't need to look at this after all. Okay. It's not actually that important. Oh, it's you two. You look like you just got hit by a truck. Shouldn't you get some rest? I'm taking a rest right now, pal. I've been listening to some crazy clown's life story. Miss Von Karma told me to come down here and do this for her. Yeah, I figured as much. Let me tell you something, pal. Listening to that old clown sucks all your energy. Every time he's done talking, he looks at you like you should be doing something. I think he's waiting for you to laugh at his jokes. I know that, pal. Do you have any idea how much your face hurts if you fake laughing that much? Francesca really set you up bad this time, didn't she? If you ask me, she should be listening to Mo herself. No way, pal. You're not gonna get me to backbite a woman with a whip. No way. Why are you defending her? Prosecutor Von Karma's always got her eyes on us. And every time you definitely don't want her to show up, poof, there she is. Don't show up. Don't show up. Don't show up. Don't show up. Looks like she's wound him up pretty tight. She's directly above us as we speak. Huh? How's that possible? According to the clown, the culprit jumped from here and disappeared into the sky. If that's what happened, it means the killer passed right by this window, pal. Oh, I see. Who lives in that room? Behind the window up there. The acrobat's got his room up on the 3rd floor, it seems. Pretty soon, Miss Von Karma's gonna start her investigation up there. So don't get any ideas of going up there to the acrobat's room. Got it, pal? Francesca Von Karma. Once she's done with her investigation, I think I'll go up there and check it out. Oh, we don't get to talk to Gumshoe. Where's Regina? I don't know. But if she's with that tiger, I don't want to find out. Let's hurry up and get out of here. Nick, you're kind of a chicken, aren't you? No. I'm just, allergic to wild tigers. Oh, fuck. I specifically didn't go into his room because I didn't want to talk to him. Oh, god damn it. Why are you in the cafeteria? Thank you for putting beans back in the bean of coffee. Alright, welcome to the wonderful, the fabulous, the cafeteria. Yikes, he's in an awfully good mood. Alright, you know what time it is? Riddle time. Why does everyone cry when they eat Mexican pizza? Come on, you can answer this, it's easy. Because cafeteria Mexican pizza is possibly a weapon of bowel destruction? Buzz, wrong, try again. Okay. What do you think, girlie? I got it. Okay, what is your answer? Because they are in the cafeteria. Exactly! It's an incredibly sad place, the cafe. I hate this clown so much. I did it! What's going on? He's being too nice. Today's been a really crazy day, hasn't it? You're telling me I didn't think it was going to be so tough. Tough? Yeah, it was a tough crowd. That's what you call a crowd that refuses to laugh. For instance, it was such a tough crowd this morning I had to smash watermelons. Huh. I told them all a great story and even greater jokes, but no one busted out laughing. You even used the famed no shoes, no shirt, no service joke. Exactly. How can you not laugh at stunning comedy like that? Are you 100% sure about your testimony today? I saw what I saw. I swear, that creep just flew through the air. It wasn't exactly flying per se. It was more like floating. The silhouette of his face made me positive it was Max. I don't see a psych lock, so he must be telling the truth. Do I show you a picture? Ah, not this picture. He showed it to you guys too? Uh-huh, you've seen it as well? Well, you know what they say about Maximilian Galactica. He really gets around. Oh yeah. He didn't just show me the picture. What do you mean? He showed me his bust too. Let me tell you, that thing is enormous. It's in the picture, I think. He'd make us worship it every day. He made us bow to his greatness. He's got a big bust? I wouldn't mind hearing more about Max's bust. Not that I'm into that sort of thing. What is happening? Max's bust should have been on the small table over there. There's nothing over there. Really? Oh yeah. Huh. When was it? I'd say about 5. Oh yeah. He got magic powers. So we can see when people are lying. That happened last case or something, I don't know. I'd say it was about 5 days ago. All of a sudden, the bus disappeared. It disappeared. If you want to see it, there's a photo on the bulletin board over there. Max just had to put the picture up. Hey, this thing is really cool. Nick, I want someone to make a bust of me. Sure, as long as I'm not paying for it. Oh. Is there anything else that's changed about this place? Nope, nothing's changed that I can see. I wonder if he's actually thinking about this or if he's setting up a really bad joke. Nope, nope, I'm drawing a blank here. Quiet Mo is a good Mo in my book. I guess there really aren't any other things that have changed, huh? Well, there is this one teensy tiny thing that does seem different. Tell us? Tell us? Well, on the morning of the crime, over on that bulletin board, this piece of paper was posted front and center. Piece of paper? It's torn, so I don't know what it said, but I could see its title. Yikes! It says, "To the murderer." Murderer? Yep, that's what it says, but the rest of it had been ripped off. And I don't know who posted it. When did you find this? The morning before the murder. Before the murder. Before the murder? Yeah, the ringmaster was killed the night after this paper was discovered. Who in the world posted this thing? This seems like very important shit that should have been brought up earlier. Nick, I think we'd better follow up on this important lead. Good gracious. Oh, they're not gonna... They don't care about the murder paper? Okay. I'll ask Max about the murder paper. Do you know anything about this note? The morning of the murder, it was posted on the wall in the cafeteria. I do know all about that note. When I read it, my heart certainly skipped a beat. Your heart skipped a beat? While I was enjoying my morning tea, the ringmaster and company entered the room. And company? I guess it wasn't really a company, it was just the ringmaster and my sweetie pie. When the ringmaster read the note, he turned an incredible bright red. All of a sudden, he tore it off the wall and shoved it into the pocket of his tailcoat. Really? Out of curiosity, what in the world was written on that thing? Let's see. Uh-huh. Oh, I don't want to steal the fun from my sweeties. Go out and find on your own. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. You might also want to ask my sweetie pie princess. God, I found that note forever ago, and they told me it wasn't important. I was just hanging out of the freaking coat pocket. I'm so annoyed. Max and the ringmaster had their talk in this room. That could have been when the ringmaster put on Max's costume and went outside. Why'd he do that anyway? Was it really that cold or something? Hey, do you see that? There's a scrap of paper shoved into the pocket of this tailcoat. You know, I've got a feeling I know what that is. I literally found this when I was first searching the room last week, and they wouldn't take it out of the pocket. They were like, it's not a big deal. I bet that's the other half of the note that Mo gave us. Then let's hurry up and check this thing out, Nick. I knew it. It fits perfectly with the other piece. What does it say? What does it say? To the murderer. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Meet me at 10 p.m. tonight at the Lodging House Plaza. Tonight at 10 p.m. That's when the murder took place. Now we need to find out who called out the ringmaster. I feel like I'm done with you. Well, that's not true. You should have one more piece of dialogue. Please don't waste my time, Puppet Man. Okay. Detective Gumshoe. I'm sure you did a good job as usual. Well, I am done with the investigation of the acrobat, finally. But with Miss Von Karma... What is happening? Nick, what is that? That beeping sound. It's Miss Von Karma. Huh? Every time I hear that sound, she's usually not very far behind. Some sort of pager or something? If you don't mind, pal, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, quick! See you, pal. I didn't know that Gumshoe could run that fast. So much for being a flatfoot. Never seen a grown man so afraid of a girl, still in her teens. Well, let's go inside. It's freezing out here. The wind is biting us. Ow! It's biting his lashes from a whip. Von Karma. She really did appear. It was a real battle today in court, wasn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Did you have to jump out and scare us like that? What can I do for you? Tomorrow will be the day my dream finally comes true. You mean the story of my defeat at your hands, making national news? National news? You possess such a small sense of scale. As you should. The global news, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Your miserable plight will be known internationally. I think she might be overestimating the importance of a win by just a smidge. Miss Von Karma, it appears you got your hands into something big, huh? Huh! I'm amazed you picked up on that much. Anyone could. You couldn't hide that look of victory with 10 paper bags on your head. I've got conclusive evidence and a conclusive witness. Need any more hints? A conclusive witness. You must mean the acrobat, right? I'm putting in the summons for him to be called in as a witness as we speak. It's the final nail in your coffin, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yeah. I get it already. You want to beat and destroy me. I can't worry about her. I've got to try and find out more information myself. Why do you keep giving Nick the evil eye? It doesn't matter if you prove the defendant guilty tomorrow. Nothing will be able to bring your dad back. My dad? You must mean the esteemed Manfred von Karma. Of course! Your dad! I know you miss him. Enough out of you. One more word and you'll get a mouthful of whip. Now, when did I ever bring up my papa's name in this, or any other conversation? Then what's this revenge thing you're talking about? You wouldn't understand, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I have to see him again. One more time. Him? I'm sure you know to whom I refer. Miles Edgeworth. What? Can I finally find out what happened to Miles Edgeworth? Can we stop talking about Miles Edgeworth like he's dead? What? Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth? Why would you even bring him up? You haven't forgotten, have you? Do you know who it was that trained the gifted prosecutor Miles Edgeworth? Manfred von Karma? Exactly right. It was my papa. That means that Edgeworth was... right again. Miles was like a little brother to me. Huh, little brother. But Edgeworth and Nick are the same age. Edgeworth. The man who inspired me to become an attorney. I fought against him in a few cases. But a little after that case was over, he vanished. It's your fault he is gone. Ah. It's the truth, isn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Nick, what does she mean? What does she mean? What's happening? Oh. Okay. Edgeworth was never quite the same after that case, and then with the case after that one, He never set foot in a court again. And then one day, he just vanished. All he left was a simple note at the prosecutor's office. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. That was 1 year ago. It was a few months after you left to go back home. Mr. Edgeworth, he's dead? I don't believe it. He's still alive. I'm sure of it. Somewhere in this world, he's still alive. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death? Of course he did. You ruined his reputation as a prosecutor. You effectively killed the prosecutor in him. Just like your victory muddied the honorable name Von Karma. I'm going to find him. And then, I'm going to teach him his rightful place with my own 2 hands. I have no idea if he's dead or not. Nick, about Mr. Edgeworth. Maya, I already told you this once. Don't make me do it again. Don't bring up his name in front of me again, okay? We're having a conversation about the man. Nick! Miss Von Karma? What? I don't know if you are God's gift to prosecutors or not, but I've had just about enough of you. Him too. What in the world is happening? This dog is all bark and no bite. He's already been defeated. Regardless, I have nothing to inform you two of today. Tomorrow will be the greatest courtroom battle this country has ever seen. Nick. Let's go. We need to talk with the performer on the 3rd floor. I'm sorry I brought it up, Nick. I don't think it's so much that you missed a whole bunch. I literally have no idea what's going on with that plot point. It's a constant like, where's Edgeworth? And Phoenix like, no. Don't ever talk to me about him again. Don't even say his name. And then everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then he's like, there's all these vague implications that he's dead. It super sounds like it. It sounds like it just sounds like a really weird breakup. It's implied. It's super implied. At least it feels like it's being implied that Edgeworth killed himself, and that's why Phoenix Wright is super mad. But apparently, I guess they've never found his body, and they're just all assuming that he's dead. You know, this world-famous prosecutor. And I guess that's why Phoenix is mad that Edgeworth just went and killed himself. It's so weird. It's like, it really just feels like somebody got dumped. Probably Phoenix. That's what this all really comes across as. I need to fucking... Oh, look at this, man. Look at these really janky birds. I love it. You must be Phoenix Wright. Yes. Pleased to meet you. I'm Ken Dingling. No, that was in the first game. We already cross-examined the pair. I'm Ken Dingling. I know, I'm sorry. But here at the circus, everyone just calls me Acro. Mr. Acro. How do you know my name? The detective told me. He said you'd definitely show up here. Acro, you're a member of the circus as well? That's right. I mainly performed on tightrope or the flying trapeze. But nowadays, all I perform is my wheelchair. Acro, why did you join the circus? When I was a kid, my parents failed miserably at business. Then one night, they decided to run away from it all, without me. Jesus Christ. The only person who was willing to take my parents' place was the ringmaster. The ringmaster took such incredible care of me. He was truly a lifesaver. It seems like the ringmaster was truly a saint. He was. That's why I decided to do something very important. I decided that I would devote my entire life to finding a way to repay him. And now, look how someone repaid him for all the good in his life. It's such a shame. Sometimes I think that he was almost too kind. Perhaps he was too kind to his performers. Perhaps he was too kind to his daughter. I wonder if he spoiled Regina. Regina is so cute. She's truly a princess. Truly a princess? Are you sure that's a good thing? Do I detect a hint of a grudge against Regina? I'm sorry to ask, but why are you in a wheelchair? The nerves in my legs were badly damaged. And you can't walk now? I can't even stand now. And since I live on the 3rd floor, I can't even leave this building by myself. That's awful. The accident happened during an acrobatics session, right? Cyclops! It doesn't seem like Acro's injuries were acrobatic in nature. What's on your mind, Mr. Wright? Well, exactly when were you injured? It's been almost 6 months since I was hurt. I injured my legs during practice. 6 months ago. What in the world went on at this circus then? I stopped by yesterday and noticed that you weren't in your room. I was at the hospital all day yesterday. You went there for rehabilitation? What about the murder? Of course I knew about it. I spoke with the police before they allowed me to go to the hospital. Before I got the call from the prosecutor, I was convinced that it was all a dream. I just couldn't believe it. When I saw what I saw... What you saw? Jeez, that sounded really ominous. What did you see, Acro? That night, I was in bed sleeping when I heard a huge sound coming from below my window. I see. The scene of the crime was right below your window. That's when I looked out the window. What did you see? He was flying straight up into the air. He? Maximilian Galactica. What? That's what I thought he'd say. You're absolutely positive that it was Max you saw flying? I'm absolutely sure. There is no doubt in my mind. Nick. So this is what I think happened. I still don't know who's done it, but somebody took Max's cloak and like attached the bust to it, because the bust is of his face and the bust is missing. And I think the bust is on the roof or something, and they dropped the bust because no one saw the actual murder happen, so they dropped the bust on the ringmaster's head and then brought it back up so it looked like Max was flying, because there's no footprints at the scene of the crime. I don't know who did this though, but that would explain why everyone has seen Max. Alright, I definitely don't have enough evidence to open those psych locks. I have to talk to Regina, like 100%. Is she gonna be back where she's supposed to be? There we go. Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Nick! Wonderful. Today's special must be Filet-O-Phoenix. Stay here! Oh Maya, Nick, it's you guys. I'm sorry, I guess I made a mistake. A mistake? Yeah, a little one. I was thinking of teaching whatever primate was out there a lesson, but I was expecting more a monkey than a human. A monkey. It's a pity about what happened to the ringmaster. Dad? Everyone loved him, didn't they? He must have been quite a man. It was! I love my dad so much! I hate to say it, but she doesn't seem all that broken up about her father. That's why I feel so lonely. Now that I won't be able to see him for a while. Yeah. When Leon died, I talked with my dad, and he told me that when someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. A star? That means that my dad is looking down on me from the sky. That's why I love the night so much. I can see everyone who's gone. When someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. That's kind of sweet, but I bet you there's no way that Maya believes that. What do you mean there's no way I believe that? Do you think that one day I'll be a star too? Of course! You really think so? Yeah, you will, I think. I've got a feeling that everyone is doing great up there in the sky. I wonder if everything's alright with Regina. Just to go back and clear something up, why'd you want to teach Money a lesson? Because he's a meanie. He's got something that means a lot to me. Something that means a lot to you. It must be something shiny, right? Actually, it's a stage costume. I've got lots of spangles. It's really beautiful. You should see it. We should. When the costume gets hit by the spotlight, it dazzles. Hey, Mr. Attorney. If you saw that monkey, you'd get my costume back for me, wouldn't you? It's really important to me. But of course. Leave it all up to us. I guess there's no turning down that request. Yay! You're really gonna do it? Okay. Let's go find that monkey then, I guess. Mo's not here. If he was here, you would have been able to tell, even before you stepped into this room. I'm sure you would have heard him laughing anyway. Ha 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 ha. What do you think he is laughing at when he's all by himself? I always thought he was just thinking up new jokes. He must really love his work. Mind if I look at your junk pile? Ew! It's a huge pile of trash! One man's trash is another monkey's treasure. I guess you're right. Look! They're all the shiny things. He's even got a motorcycle exhaust. What do you call this thing? Oh, a tuba, right? Of course it's a tuba, silly. Didn't know that? Hey, it's a picture of Regina. Well, she's a shining beauty. No objections here. Not in the monkey's trash pile. Oh, thank you very much! Let me see. Make the trans... I actually don't see that option. Unless it's... Oh, I see. Oh, I see, I see, I see. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Mo's not here either. Well, Mo's gone! There's a message on the bulletin board. I'm hungry, so I'm off to get some hamburgers. Love, Mo. Hamburgers! Just thinking about it is making me hungry. All of a sudden, I need a burger bad. All of a sudden, I need a new partner bad. That's so mean. Alright, I wonder if I'm not actually done with her. Oh, she was with him, right? When they found this note? Do you want to read it? You want to read this? Regina, have you ever seen this before? I know what this is. Really? Well, it was in my pocket for a while. It was in your pocket? This piece of paper was in your pocket? I guess I noticed it was there around breakfast time. Breakfast time? Yeah, I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. That's when I also take out the trash in his room. And then I go to the cafeteria and eat my own breakfast. That's when you realize this piece of paper was in your pocket? Yep. But since I'm not a murderer, I just figured it belonged to someone else's pocket. And then what? I wonder if the person who lost it was in trouble, so... You didn't put it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria, did you? I did! I stuck it up there. How'd you know? So it was Regina who put it up there. When did this happen? The morning of the murder, I think. That explains a lot. I wonder who wrote this. So Acro put it in her pocket. Specifically calling her out? Did she do murder? But Acro's not... I don't know what's happening. Nobody in there. I'm not a murderer. I don't think we're done with her, actually. I wish... I have a picture of a monkey. I don't actually have the monkey in my pocket. No, I still don't have any evidence for this man. Mo's not here. What's that? I hear something. Stop it, Nick! You're scaring me. Monkey. Nick, it's a monkey! That monkey's holding something. That's it. That's the thing that means a lot to Regina, remember? Alright, time to take on this monkey, attorney style. These are all... The monkey's not tame, right? I don't even know if this matters. But I know the monkey isn't tame. So I'm just gonna monkey at it. Yikes! I tried to have a monkey-to-monkey talk with him. I really did. Nick! You... I swiped it while the monkey was distracted. Wow, you're really on the ball today, Nick. Let me see it. You can see it fine from where you are. You know what I mean. I really want to try on Regina's costume. Maybe then they'll take you in at the circus and I can get some peace and quiet. What's the matter now? It doesn't fit me at all. Oh well, guess it's time for you to lay off the burgers. That's mean. Not to mention, it doesn't look like something any girl I know would actually wear. Let Maya eat burgers. She's just a young girl. Here you go, Regina. Yay! Thank you! You really got it back for me. Don't mention it. I love you, Mr. Attorney. It's nothing. No wonder guys melt to mush in front of this girl. Hey, Regina. That costume is yours, right? I tried it on, but it didn't fit me. Huh? This costume? This isn't mine. It was Leon's. Leon's? You know, the lion she told us about. Oh, the one that someone killed. Leon, he was killed, wasn't he? That's right, my dad killed him. Why? Well, Leon did something really bad during practice. During practice? Leon was sitting down, and when he opened his mouth, you know, gwah. Usually when he did that, I would put my head into his mouth. Wait, you put your head into the lion's mouth? I sure did. The people in the crowd always loved seeing me do that. They'd always start screaming. You sure they were screaming because they loved seeing you do that? Anyways, what was the bad thing? Oh yeah, Leon bit someone during that practice. Regina, everything was alright though, right? No, it wasn't alright. That was the problem. My dad was incredibly angry. And that's when Leon... Yeah, that's when he became a star in the sky. Poor thing. Leon did a murder. That's why Regina's being blamed for murder. But they're talking about a murder. Unless it's like murdered his career, because he definitely can't do the acrobatics anymore. Well, that's what he said. He just stays there in his room. Something smells fantastic. So we know it can't be Mo. Wait, I know what it is. It's burgers. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Bistro du Cirque, aka the cafeteria. It smells so good in here, and those burgers look great. She's drooling like she's some sort of crazed burger monster. My burgers are the best. Juicy meat, toasted buns, special sauce. They are absolutely irresistible to anyone with a hankering for a burger. One bite will send you into a hamburger heaven. I bet. I can tell by the smell. Whoa. I'm getting hungry too. Those burgers must have some kind of special power. I do want a burger. Now that Regina is gone, what are you going to... I'm sorry. Now that the ringmaster is gone, what are you going to do? And that's all I've thought about the past 2 days. Everyone loved Russell. You've heard Acro's story, haven't you? Like how he was adopted when he was younger. He's calmed down a bit now, but he was livid when he heard about the murder. Acro was so upset that he said he couldn't go on. He was that upset? Yes, he was. Anyways, I gave it some thought. Maybe I should give up on trying to be a half-baked clown. I've been thinking of trying on the ringmaster's shoes. What? Really? Max would still be an issue, though. Max. He may be a bit mean and hard to work with, but it's hard to argue with his importance. He's probably the reason the circus is still around. A lot of what he says is right. Mo. All that's left is to see if everyone can get over the tragedy. You know. The tragedy. You know, what is he talking about? Get over what tragedy, Mo? Huh? Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Nothing at all. He must mean the tragic death of the ringmaster, right? Yes, yes, that's it. You're right, girly. Dang, dang, correcto mundo. Doesn't he mean ding? I thought I was reading that wrong. Well, I mean, no disrespect here, but are you lying to us? Yeah. No, not at all. What makes you think that? Just the way you said if everyone can get over the tragedy seemed a bit strange. It sounded like you were talking about something from a long time ago. Mo, I'm right, aren't I? So now we're getting closer to the truth. It was about 6 months ago. It was just a little accident. Give me a break! Us old men have accidents. I wear big pants for a reason. 6 months ago, eh? Okay, I do actually think I have enough evidence to... Because we're getting near the end of this, I feel. I feel like I can figure this out. Mo, please tell us what happened 6 months ago. What in the world went on at this circus? Okay. There's no need to look so scary when you ask me. Hey, look over there! Some juicy burgers. Let's eat instead. Unfortunately, I'm more of a grilled chicken sandwich man myself. Oh. Actually, I've kind of got an idea of what happened back then. Mo, you said something about an accident. This wouldn't happen to be the cause of that accident, would it? I heard a little bit about it from Regina. Leon made a mistake during a practice, right? How did you... I told them so many times. You shouldn't be doing such dangerous acts. Like putting her head inside Leon's mouth, right? Yeah, but Regina believed in Leon. She believed so strongly that the ringmaster went along. He never could say no to her. Out of curiosity, who was bitten? Come on, Mo. Don't clam up on me now. Who did Leon bite on the head? Well, I promised I wouldn't say anything. You promised? He's involved in this, too. He's involved, huh? Mo must be talking about... Mo, is this the person you promised you wouldn't say anything? Oh. It's very interesting. It's not who got bitten, but who we made a promise to. It must have been Acro, right? How'd you know? Don't worry about that, Mo. Getting to the bottom of this accident may help solve what happened to the ringmaster. No way! I need to know the truth about what happened to Russell. Please tell me what you know. I'm sorry, Acro. It's just like you said, you know, the accident. Did someone die? No, but it would have probably been better if he had. What? How would that have been better? He's still alive. But when he got bit, he suffered massive brain damage. He'll never recover from the coma that he's in. Coma? All he does now is lie in his bed at the hospital. And that's all he's ever going to be able to do. I see. How is he related to Acro? He's his brother. Huh? The person who got bit was Acro's brother. Brother? They were an acrobatic team of brothers. Acro and Bat. Jesus. Cute nicknames, I thought. Anyways, they were an incredible team. Cut down together in their prime. Who is Acro's younger brother? Sean Dingaling, but everyone always calls him Ben. He fell in love with Regina. Trying to win her love was his downfall. Everyone seems to fall in love with Regina. 6 months ago, while we were practicing, all of a sudden Bat blurts out, "Let me perform with Leon!" Why'd he do that? I don't know, but that's what caused this accident. I'll never forget that moment. It was so strange. Leon had the weirdest look on his face. smiling. You mean Leon? Yeah, Leon. When he bit down, he was smiling. Some sick grin. No way, that's impossible. A smirking lion, a flying murderer. Why does it seem that it's always Mo who catches all these incredible events? Nick, can lions smile? We never told the police about the incident. The circus would have been shut down if we had. The next day, the ringmaster took Leon out and shot him with a rifle. So that's what really happened. Well, you guys were so serious. What was I supposed to do? I had to tell you. But all this truthfulness has put me in a mood for a burger. Here, you two have some pepper. Shaka shaka shaka. And there he goes again, acting like his normal crazy self. Achoo! Nice! What a wonderful sneeze. You think so? You sneeze with pepper and slip on a banana peel. That's basic clownsmanship. Girlie, I know you goatee understand that. Nick, I think I'd make a good clown. Other than Regina, I've never seen a cuter sneezer. Does Regina sneeze with pepper too? She does! Bat would always tease her with pepper. But Bat, from my point of view, those two always look so perfect together. They looked perfect together, huh? Alright. I think with this information we can unlock the locks in Acro's room. Mr. Wright, back again, I see. Well, he did say I'll be back. Wait, or was that someone else? We're back because Acro's hiding why his legs were injured. He was hurt in the accident 6 months ago. It would seem that he knows that we know. Well, it seems you've got things you want to talk about, so fire away. I don't understand how his legs got injured, though. Did they fight the lion after the fact? I have to ask you, how were you injured? I'm sorry, I thought we talked about this. It was an accident that happened during practice. An accident during practice. Yes, unfortunately acrobats are prone to all sorts of injuries. He's lying. If that were really the cause, he'd have no reason to keep it a secret. Acro, are you really telling me that a practice accident was the cause of your injury? Leon. 6 months ago, you were attacked by the lion. That's when you were injured. Oh, okay. I know I'm on the right track. I just need to keep going. You're saying that I was attacked by a lion? That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm an acrobat. I'm no animal tamer. If a lion was coming at me, I'd be running for the exit. Okay, maybe attacked is not the best word to be using. So let me rephrase that as battled the lion. You seem to enjoy telling jokes. Why would I decide to battle a lion? Because you had to fight it. You had to fight it to save someone. Okay, that makes more sense. Bat, it was a shame what happened to your brother 6 months ago. You tried to save him, didn't you? And that's how you got that terrible injury? Mo. He must have told you. Yes, we learned about Bat from Mo. But he didn't mention anything about you in regards to the accident. I suppose it was just a slip of the tongue on his part. That's how I figured it out. A slip of the tongue. Anyways, they were an incredible team. Cut down together in their prime. Cut down together. That was where he slipped, and that's how I figured it out. You two ended up at the center of the same accident together. Like always. I see. But an accident is an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault. I still haven't broken Acro's last psyche lock. This must be one incredibly deep-seated secret. It wasn't anyone's fault. Do you care to explain more? Acro, I know you are still hiding something from me. Maybe someone you don't seem to like much is the reason why you're being evasive. It's her. Regina, you always seem calm and collected until you start talking about her. Saying things like, she is cruel. Well done, Mr. Attorney. You've got quite the set of eagle eyes. You know, her tiger tried to attack me. Regent tried to attack you. Twice. He wasn't serious, I'm sure. You're not trying to insinuate that I believe she spurred the Leon to attack Bat, are you? Leon was never taught a command to attack people. Regina isn't capable of doing anything like that. Besides, Regina had no real reason to want to hurt my little brother. Regina and Bat were such good friends back then. But you still hate Regina. I've got proof of it. What? What are you talking about? Maybe I overdid it again, but if I can hand something over to Acro, maybe it'll... Oh, it's the note. Yeah, the lion definitely sneezed. This? Where did you get it? Regina posted it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria. Before that, it was in her pocket. I guess I noticed it was there around breakfast time. I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. You wrote this, and then you put it in her pocket. That's right, isn't it? That's right. Well done, Mr. Wright. My legs were injured by Leon. 6 months ago, my younger brother, Bet, had a dare with Regina. A dare? An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside of Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date. That's insane! Didn't you know how dangerous that is? We all thought he was being stupid too, but that lion was very old to begin with, and age brought with it countless experience in doing that very trick. Unfortunately, this particular time, I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing, and that's when the accident happened. He just wanted to take her out to the movies. Poor Bat. When Leon chomped down, I jumped towards him. Then Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up. What about Bat? He's still in a coma. I went to the hospital yesterday to visit him. I see. I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. And that's the reason why I keep going. Bat and Regina, they were such great friends. Oh yeah, I wanted you to take a look at this. What is it? This is the scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him. Gross. It's covered in blood. This scarf? It was a present from Regina to my brother on the day of the accident. Huh. When he did it, he looked like he was smiling. He? Leon, obviously. Oh. When he bit down on Bat's head, the expression on Leon's face looked like a grin. Nick! I know, most said the same thing. What do you think it all means? I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind. Miss Von Karma, I've already heard everything, so hand over the scarf. But the scarf is evidence in the trial. That is for me to decide. I think we should begin our preparations now, Acro. Preparations? I've served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. Acro, we'll talk more at the prosecutor's office. Acro, a witness? Come, Acro, let's go to the office. Yes, ma'am. Now what do we do, Nick? How are we going to handle tomorrow? Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out. Look at you, all full of confidence. You must have found something you can use. This is all beginning to come together now. So it's probably Acro thinking he was gonna kill Regina, because I don't genuinely think he wanted to kill the ringmaster. I don't know. I've kind of got this all pieced together, but we don't have time to do trial today, so I guess we'll finish this case tomorrow, probably. Oh, there's so much happening in this game all the time. But yeah, I think we'll finish this case tomorrow and probably start the fourth one as well. We'll see how long the trial takes. But thank you so very, very much for being here. That will be all of Phoenix Wright today. I will be back tomorrow with more Phoenix Wright at 2 p.m. EST. But I will be back in an hour and 20 with Near Replicant, the new one. But before I start Near Replicant, I do have a little slideshow as because I'm going to go over Drakengard because it is actually important. I worked very hard on it all night, and it's very bad. But I have to talk about Drakengard before we play Near. So yeah, I'm very excited. I enjoy Drakengard too. I don't enjoy Drakengard's gameplay. I just don't have a good... I don't own Drakengard, so I don't have a way to play it. And I don't know how good of a game it would be to play on stream. I know, you're the only one. Drakengard is really, really good, story-wise at the very least. Yeah, I didn't think so. So I'm going to do a little presentation, and hopefully it won't take too long, and then we can jump into Nier. I know. So yes, that will be in an hour and 20. And don't be late or you'll miss my amazing PowerPoint presentation. I have to figure out how to set that all up. Alright, thank you so much for being here. I will see you all soon. And if not, I hope you all have a very lovely afternoon. And goodbye.